Good morning properly to people who are now with me. I wonder if I can see this better without my glasses. I'm not really seeing it. Oh, that's all right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. It is a beautiful, bright, sunny but cold day in Sydney. Don't know how it is everywhere else. We've got some light at the end of the tunnel here. We know that on September the 13th we can see 5 people outside, so getting back to normal a little bit. Vaccinated people, actually. So that's going to be a very interesting thing to manage. But good morning. Hi, Sue. Good morning. Good morning, Dorothy. Good to see you here. Hello, Marcel. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello. Hey, nice to see you here. Calm. 40 degrees in Canada. Yeah, not quite 40 here. Good morning, Susie. Hello, everyone. So nice to have you. It's freezing. It's freezing. Oh, hey, Dina. How are you in Melbourne? I haven't seen you for ages. Nice to see you here. Old friends joining. It's so lovely. Good morning. Thanks for the waves and the love hearts. I love it. I love it. Good morning to you. It's really cold in my kitchen. I was sitting here in a t-shirt doing some work, and I was so engrossed in what I was doing that I forgot that I was cold, and then half an hour later I realized that I was bloody freezing, and so now I've put on a cardi and I'm still cold, so I've got to warm up, actually. Special shout out to my friend Lisa. Hang in there, Lisa. I'm with you, okay, all the way. And hey, Deb, good to see you here. Good morning, good morning. And good morning to Karen. This is my romper room moment. I never wanted to be Miss Helena on Romper Room. For those who used to watch it, remember that show? And the little kids would be there and she'd say good morning to all of them, and then she'd say good morning to you in Viewerland, and she'd just, you know, reel off a dozen names, and if she mentioned your name, it was so exciting. So I feel a little bit like Miss Helena today. Romper Room was a really, really enjoyable show as a kid. But thinking back now, like, what did we like about it? It was just like watching kids sitting there and they drank milk, and there was the bee that buzzed around. Remember that? Yeah, back in the day when we were little. Anyway, now we're here making curry, however many decades away later. So good morning to all of you and welcome to my kitchen. Hope you are all doing okay. If you're in lockdown, if you're not in lockdown, wherever you are in the world, we are all getting through this. I think that, what do I think? Well, we're not even at the 28th of August yet, so it's a bit much to think about the next month when we're not even at the end of the first planned end of lockdown. That's how I feel. But we've got to get our attitude right, and we've got to focus on the things we can do and we can enjoy while we are in lockdown. And for me, it's cooking and sharing with all of you, and hopefully for all of you, it's cooking as well. And we can hang out together in the kitchen as much as you like. Hey, Taxi Mary, I'm sure Melbourne's freezing. I shouldn't complain about the cold because it's actually quite warm comparatively. All right. Let's talk curry. How was everyone's chicken curry? Who made it? We had it for dinner last night, and really the one I made yesterday on the live was just perfect. It just worked out. You know, when you cook at home, I don't know if you find this, but I do, and I cook a lot. Things aren't always exactly the same. You know, sometimes things can be fantastic, and then you can make the same thing the following week and it's okay. You know, a little change, little higher temperature. You know, I'm glad yours was delicious, Dorit. Mine was absolutely scrumptious. Hey, we've got Harris Farm Markets here. Good to see you. You should actually follow them on Instagram. I've just started following them, Harris Farm Markets. It's the most hilarious Instagram account. And the reason I've been looking at them is because we're doing a couple of recipes for them for upcoming Jewish New Year. And I've got one of them here behind me, actually. I'll just give you a little sneak peek. So I'm happy you're on Harris Farm. These are the little honey and apple cupcakes with cream cheese frosting or icing that we have made for Rosh Hashanah or Jewish New Year, which is going to be on the Harris Farm Market's socials sometime soon. So watch out for that. Join them and you'll see. I did make 6 yesterday, and I just want to say there are 3 left. So my vow to not eat cake this week has not been going well. I'm going to blame you, Harris Farm Markets, for making me make those cakes. They're so delicious. I had one at 11 o'clock last night, which is just the worst thing to do. Anyway, all right, back to the curry. Enough chit-chat, perhaps. They do look good, don't they? I'm happy you think they look good. All right, chickpea curry. Okay, so this is a very, very lovely, vibrant, healthy, bright curry. We first created this dish when we did a collaboration with Simon Johnson. You know, I love Simon Johnson stores. I love their products. A couple of years ago, actually 2018. And we did it to use their butter chicken paste, which I absolutely love. But you don't have to use butter chicken paste for this recipe, but it's actually just adds another dimension, which I always like doing. So let's talk through the ingredients. We are going to need always olive oil and onion every time you make a curry, or sorry, oil and onion. It doesn't matter which oil you use. I do have olive oil in the recipe, which is interesting because it doesn't have to be. Then we need some spices. We're going to have 500 grams of pumpkin, which we're going to toss in spices, cinnamon and ground coriander seed. Okay, so we need salt, cinnamon, ground coriander to go with our pumpkin. Then we're going to need some chickpeas, which I have, they're from the can. I haven't done it from dry. I've drained the cans, rinsed it really, really, really well under running water till I get rid of all that stuff which I don't want from the can. I find it gives it a taste that I don't want. And these have been rinsed and drained, and you can't taste that, the juice that it comes in, which I know some people use as a replacement for egg whites, but we're not talking about that today, so I got rid of it and I don't want it today. And then of course we're going to add some beautiful spinach leaves, and I'm just using baby spinach, less work. Buy them already like this, don't have to wash all the sand out, and they just take a minute to cook, but we're going to put them in the end. And then of course we need coconut milk or cream. I'm using cream today because I want it to be a bit thicker, but you can use milk. And then I'm going to finish it at the end with beautiful fresh coriander leaves, lime juice, and some red chillies for some spice, okay, for some heat, I should say. So that's pretty much the ingredients, and I'm going to go through it. Yes, I think you could definitely use ghee to start this one. I know it's a traditional fat that's used in these dishes, and I think it would be beautiful. It would actually be perfect. All right, so pumpkin is not in season, so sweet potato, why not? Absolutely. Just have to work out how long to cook it for compared to pumpkin. Pumpkin probably cooks a little bit quicker. All right, yes, so someone's asked for the measurements. Okay, so let's go through the measurements quickly. I have got 2 tablespoons of oil, a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon each of ground cinnamon and ground coriander, half a jar of this curry paste, of this butter chicken paste. So 50 grams of any paste that you like. If you don't have that paste, you can use 2 tablespoons of curry powder, which is that. I'm not going to use both, but I've just got it there to show you, instead of the paste. Not instead of the spices, instead of the paste. I'm going to put it aside, otherwise I'll put it in with everything. And we have got 500 grams. I'm using Jap or Kent pumpkin. I don't love butternut. It's a personal thing. I just don't love the flavour. I really, really love this Jap pumpkin. It comes with it's got like a dark green outside, it's just beautiful. 1 onion, 2 cans of chickpeas, 1 can of coconut cream, and 150 grams, which is about 5 ounces of baby spinach leaves, 1 lime, 2 bird's eye chilies, and half a bunch of coriander. That's it. That's the measurements. Okay. Hi, Michelle from New York. Good to see you here again. I love it when people just say who they are, because it's hard to tell from someone's Instagram name what their name is, and I'm struggling sometimes. And I always laugh. You know, I had 2 dogs on following me, and I had to talk to Archie, the sea cavoodle from New York, and yesterday we had Moggs the cat from Canada, I think. So, you know, we've got a whole range of animals and people on this. Okay, so Rob's talking to Calm about why she doesn't have pumpkins in Canada, because nothing is ever out of season here. Well, is it that the truth, Rob, or is it that we import stuff when it's out of season? I don't know. That's a good question. All right, then, let's start cooking. I'm just going to put this aside for a moment. All right, we're going to start. We need a pan. I'm going to use the same pan that I used yesterday for my chicken curry, which is a big, wide casserole saute pan. I love these, non-stick. This one's an Anilon one. They don't last forever, but I use them all the time. Okay, yes, good question about the coconut milk or cream, 400 mils. Okay, is that all right? Does that help you? It doesn't have a fluid ounces amount in it. I think it's about 13 fluid ounces. I can't remember, something like that. All right, so I'm using this coconut cream. Let's go. First thing we want to do is cook the pumpkin. Not cook, we're actually going to sear it. I want to start it caramelizing before it goes in. You can do this in the oven, but I'm trying to save you a pan, okay? I would do a hot oven, olive oil in the pan in the oven, and slice the pumpkin, you'll see, and chuck it in. But we're going to use one pan, and let's try it this way. So I'm going to put this on, and I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of my olive oil. So I've got 2 tablespoons in total, or my oil, and I'm going to put that in the pan, and I want it to heat up. In the meantime, I'm going to take my pumpkin, which has been cut into cubes. I'm very happy to say my fruit chop does this, so I didn't have to do it, which makes it so much easier. And I'm going to toss in the 2 ground spices, the cinnamon, that was the coriander, and the cinnamon, okay? And the 1 teaspoon of salt, okay? And I'm going to toss those together, and I just want to get them coated, okay? There's no oil in here or anything, it's just dry pumpkin. My pumpkin's not wet. Okay, I want them to be fully coated with the spices. And I'm using a big bowl, which makes it easy to toss. Thank you, Rob. It is just under 15 fluid ounces. Look, there you go. Okay, oh, they smell yummy. That cinnamon is beautiful. And cinnamon adds a really lovely sweetness to this dish. All right, see, my pumpkin is well and truly coated. Someone pointed out to me yesterday, and rightly so, that often the things that I'm cooking appear under the words and under the conversation. So I'm going to try when I can to bring it up high so you can see it, okay? So, toss that on nicely. Now, as soon as the oil is hot, okay, I'm going to pop the pumpkin in. Just in one layer. And I always want to hear it sizzle. You know, sound is such an important thing in cooking. And I think that some of you must think I'm a bit weird for saying that, but the sound is really something to think about. If you put anything in a fry pan with hot oil and you don't hear a sizzle, your oil's not hot enough. And then the whole dish is going to sort of stew instead of, we want seared pumpkin, we want it to caramelize, we want that the beautiful sugars in there to actually come out. And this is how we're doing it. So the pan is definitely not hot enough, so I'm just going to wait for a minute until it heats up. I'm happy because it's so warm and I'm so cold, so it's actually fantastic. All right, let's see how we go. Yum. It smells beautiful already. We haven't even started. Let's see now. Yeah, that's better. Okay, pumpkin in. I'm going to keep the bowl because I'm going to put it back in a minute. And what I want is just it in one layer, okay, so that those sides get caramelized. I'm going to give it a couple of minutes, a minute on each side. We're not cooking it through, we're just getting the caramelization starting before we go on to the next step. And then we're going to cook the onion in those lovely pumpkin juices and spices, which just adds a lovely layer of flavour to the whole dish. Yum. This smells so good. Frying pumpkin, spices. Very happy to be doing this morning. Very happy. Yum. I wish you could smell it.
Sure, I understand.
My Siri keeps talking to me. All right. And of course what you can do is have a peek under one of them. But I'm going to be patient. Now, while my curry's cooking, when I've done the first 3 steps or so, it's going to be about 15 minutes. I'm going to do another batch of rice in case any of you missed the rice class. And I know you'll say, of course we know how to cook rice. Well, I thought I knew how to cook rice too until someone told me how to steam nicely. And it makes such a difference. I got so much feedback on Instagram in the last few days from Monday's rice. You know, who knew? Someone said they were tossing out their rice cooker now. Who needs it anymore? They said to me. All right, let's have a look. Okay, so that's not quite enough. I want it more than that. So I'm being patient, which you know I'm not always good at. and waiting for it to really, really get brown, okay? Because once we start putting in the liquid and everything, it's never not going to brown, okay? So we're making it as brown as we can now. It's our only chance, okay? This smells really good. I know I keep going on about that. Let's give it a shake. Okay. These non-stick pans are fantastic. Look, really fantastic. All right, let's have another look. See how impatient I am? What do you think? Okay, patience, patience. How is everyone? Tell me something, people. Tell me what you're cooking if you're not cooking this. Yesterday was funny because people were cooking all different things. Someone was making chicken soup while I was making chicken curry. Someone else was making something else. I don't know. Ah, Wendy, your rice stuck to the bottom. Yeah, in a non-stick it does a bit sometimes, I must say. It really does. Dorrit, yes, I said a half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon and a half a teaspoon of ground coriander. If you've got a non-stick saucepan, Wendy, it's just better, I have to say. When I make it in my stainless steel, it does stick and I just have to wash it. Ah, Deb's making wagon wheels. You know, I've got some of that wagon wheel dough in the freezer and I keep looking at the biscuit pastry and I keep looking at it and thinking, oh, should I? Should I? Okay, let's have a look. This actually smells like it's starting to cook. Yeah, that's good, okay? So this is what I want, okay? Don't turn it over till it's like that, all right? This is your one opportunity. So, Claire, not cooking today, but I'm glad you enjoyed the chicken curry. All right, let's turn this. Okay, here we go. I'm just tossing, trying to get the other edges. You could turn every piece over, but you know I do not have enough patience to do that. Well, let me see. Oh, beautiful, 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 beautiful. I could get tongs, you might say. That would probably be a good idea. But you know what? I'm not going to. So I'm just trying to get all the sides, not all, some of the sides done, you know. Oh, Carm made the salmon cakes yesterday, as in the San and patty cakes. I love salmon patties, actually. I love doing them for that class. That was fun. All right, how are we going here? Yeah, I reckon this is just about done. Remember, we're not cooking it through. We are just searing, caramelizing, yum. And that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. You probably get a slightly better result in the oven, but you have to weigh out whether you want another roasting pan. I guess I could put this in the oven actually. All right, no, I'm happy with that. All right, I'm taking that off the heat now. Pumpkin is browned pretty much all over, and I'm going to put it in that bowl and empty it. This is an Anilon pan. It is a, doesn't say what it is. It's an Anilon pan. It's about a 28 centimetre pan, probably about a 5 litre pan. It's really great. Okay, this is hot. I'm now going to do the onions. I'm going to put the rest of my oil in, so that's a tablespoon. And I'm going to put my one onion, which I've already chopped roughly, doesn't have to be too fine. You remember we've got, think about, you know, how rough or fine you want to chop your onion. Think about what it's going to be in. You know, it's in with other chunky things. So it doesn't matter if you've got big pieces of onion. If you're doing a fine sauce, you don't want big pieces of onion, right? So think about that sort of thing when you're wondering whether you can be lazy and cut it big, or you've got to like be meticulous and cut it fine. I don't mind doing a job like cutting onion finely, but it's got to be for a purpose, right? It just can't be the thing you do all the time. If you need it fine, do it fine, but if you don't, do it like this. Okay, my pan is on high now. I want it to sizzle. I want you to hear it, okay? And I'm going to cook the onion for about 5 minutes until it's starting to soften, okay? Yum, still smells good. The pumpkin is just sitting there. It's not cooked, it's still hard, in case you're wondering. It is still rock hard, which is what I want, because I'm going to cook it in the sauce. But it's been caramelized. All right. Onion is a cooking. This is actually a great pan. I have some others that have got you know, straight sides. I quite like this curved one. It's pretty good. Okay. How's everyone going? Yes. Okay, so I took the pumpkin out of the pan, Dorothy, and then I put in the oil, the rest of the oil. So I've now used two tablespoons of oil. And then I added the onion. And I'm just frying off my onion nicely. And then I'm going to add my spice paste. Okay. Where did I get this pan from? I actually don't remember. Everten is really great. They have a lot of stuff. Everten. Great website. Lots of kitchen products. Lots of things on sale all the time. That's where I bought my favourite pan in the world, which is this Swiss Diamond small casserole. See, it's already beautiful. 3 litre, 24 centimetre. Favourite pan. So much so that I need to buy another one. I'm going to cook my rice in that in a minute. You'll see how good it is. And it's so non-stick, that Swiss Diamond. The Anilon's good, but you know what? It does get scratched when other people use your things, you know, family members, and they use metal implements in the non-stick pan, and then you get scratches, and then, you know, it does not make me happy, I have to say. All right, these onions are good. They have a tiny bit of crunch in them, but that's fine. I don't mind that. They're going to keep cooking. I'm going to add a pinch of salt in, as I always do with onions. Talked about that yesterday. And I'm just using the Olsen's cooking salt for that. I know lots and lots of you have been buying all the Olsen's salt with our special collab, which I'll talk about in a sec. So I've just put in a bit of salt. I'm going to cook them. And now I'm adding my paste. If you do not have the paste, as I said, use curry powder instead. And for this recipe, use a couple of tablespoons, 2 tablespoons of curry powder. I'm using half a jar of this paste. It's a really delicious flavour, okay? So half a jar. So out of this 1 jar, I'm going to get 2 big curries, which is great. Yep, that's about it. Just going to guess that. I also love these cute little jars, I must say. I'm a big fan of Simon Johnson stuff. You know I love the red wine vinegar. And I love this as well. All right. Curry paste in there, or butter chicken paste, or curry powder if that's what you're using. That was just the rest of my oil. Okay, now I'm going to turn it down to medium-low. I don't want it to burn. Smells absolutely amazing, okay, already. So what we're doing is we're cooking it. My jar is 100 grams and I'm using 50 grams. It's probably about a tablespoon and a half, if I had to guess, that I put in there. So 50 grams, you can weigh it, of curry paste. Okay, yum. Making sure this is cooked. I want to get every bit of onion coated with it, and I want the curry paste to start to fry to bring out all the flavours. Yum. All right. Beautiful. Okay, so next I'm going to put in the chickpeas. I'm going to turn it up again. My chickpeas have been drained, rinsed and drained really well. Oops. Just throw them all over the kitchen. And I'm going to put them in now with the rice and the curry paste. And I'm going to toss them through because I want each one of those to be coated in this paste as well before I go ahead with the next step. Yum. And even this would be delicious as a side dish. You know, you could put some water in now and just cook it, let it reduce down, and there's a beautiful chickpea dish with spice. So easy, from a jar, or curry powder. Like, it's so many things to do. Yum. Looks beautiful. I'd make a really nice photo, actually. Sitting here looking at that. All right, mess away. This can all go away. All right. Just going to turn this around a tiny bit so you can see that a bit better. Okay, can you see? They're cooking beautifully. That really is a dish on its own. Yum. Already. Oh, good. So your Olsen's order came yesterday. Oh, I love it that you bought it for your whole family. That's fantastic. Okay. Next, we're going to add back our pumpkin and our coconut cream. Now, I'm really excited to tell you, those of you who are with me for the salmon patties, remember that I told you I didn't know how to use my can opener. So I tossed it out and I bought a new one. I went online to Oxo and I bought this one. Someone very kindly sent me some links. You know what, Celia, where's my chucks? I haven't got it yet today. You're right. I haven't worked out that sponsorship deal either yet. I'm going to turn this down while I just get this ready. Coconut cream, new can opener. This is the first time I'm using it and I've saved it for you guys, okay? Let's see if I can work it out. I think this is an easy one. Okay, this is good. This is good. This is really good. This is nothing fancy. This is a very, very easy to use can opener, and you'll be pleased to know that that was my first time and I nailed it. Did I just nail that? I think so. All right, in goes. I'm going to turn it up now because, again, when I put this in, I want it to sizzle. I want to get it cooking. I want to get everything caramelizing. So I've just turned it up and I'm now going to throw in this. Can you hear that? That's what I want. Very happy with that can opener. Okay, toss it around. Now, like everything, every time you make a sauce and you put the ingredients in together, you look at this and you go, it just looks like coconut cream and nothing. But it needs to come together. It needs to cook together. It needs to... The sous chef has arrived. You're right. Winston, come here. Come here. Come on. It needs to all come together. And it needs probably 15-20 minutes to cook and become one. Okay, all these different ingredients join together now to become one. Yum, yum, yum. I think that's everything I need to add in at this point. Okay, I have got in the spiced pumpkin, which I sauteed, my chickpeas, which were rinsed and drained, my coconut cream, and of course the base was the onion with the spices. And now it's all cooking nicely. I need to go get my chucks. Thank you, Celia, for the reminder. And speaking of chucks, I've got to tell you, I like the blue ones, but I order online from the supermarket, and my supermarket order came, and I'll show you what I got. I'll show you what I got. I'm very upset because I love the blue ones. I'm going to look what I got. Purple. I hate the purple. I think I have to take them back and go find blue again. All right. So I'm going to turn this down now. It's now come to the boil. It's starting to come together. It's smelling delicious. And I just want to cook that for 15 minutes. And I'm just going to put some some rice on while I'm doing that, okay? So while that's simmering, I haven't put the spinach in. I haven't put the lime in. I haven't seasoned it properly yet, okay? We're just going to wait. So let's put that there on the back burner. You don't need to see that simmering away. I'm going to leave the lid off because I want it to start to thicken. And Claire, I haven't put my chilli in yet. I'm going to put that at the end as well. I'm just going to put my chilli in more for a... Garnish is the wrong word, but I want fresh chilli through it rather than cooked chilli through it. It's up to you though. If you want to put your chilli in now, you do that. But I like the idea of fresh spinach, which is just cooked, fresh coriander and fresh chilli at the end, okay? That's the aim. Let's talk rice for a minute. For those of you who haven't been with me for rice, let me start by saying quantity for rice. Basmati, 1 cup of rice to 1.5 cups of water. That pretty much works for most brands of basmati. Up to you if you want to rinse and drain your rice. Sometimes, you know, I don't know if you notice a difference. I did an experiment, I said the other day, I couldn't really tell much of a difference for this dish, but I do, as a matter of course, rinse it just because, okay? So I'm going to put my rice into my pan. And I'm using this Swiss Diamond one that I was talking about earlier, which I love. It's perfect for this amount of rice. And I'm going to put 1 cup of rice and, oh no, 2 cups of rice. Actually, I've got 2 cups because it's for dinner tonight, and 3 cups of water, okay? And I'm going to put some salt in. I'm going to put a good teaspoon of salt in that because it's a lot of rice, okay? And I'm just going to give it a gentle mix, and then I'm going to bring it to the boil. Okay, 2 cups of rice, 3 cups of water, or 1 cup of rice, 1.5 cups of water. That's the quantity you need to cook it. I'm going to watch it carefully. As soon as it comes to the boil, I don't want it to boil with the lid off. I'm going to put the lid on because we're steaming it, and that's what we need. If there's a vent in your saucepan, your vent needs to be closed, okay? I can never tell when it's open or closed. I think that's closed, okay? So everyone with me on the rice. Okay, thank you, Dorothy, for answering that question. Cinnamon and coriander, 1/2 teaspoon of each, which was cooked with the pumpkin. So my curry is simmering absolutely beautifully, and already after 5 minutes, not even that, it's just starting to come together, and you can almost already have a taste of it. You may need to add salt. Remember, we're adding lime, chilli, and coriander. Sorry, we're spinach first, and lime, chilli, and coriander, and it will need a bit of salt. Let me just pop this away. I'm trying to keep tidy today. And let's deal with our chilli, shall we? Now, Claire, you might want to add your chilli, because I think the fact that you asked about it means that you love your chilli, and I don't want you to miss out on your chilli. So by all means, add it earlier. I'm going to use 2 chillies for this whole thing, and I'm going to take the seeds out because I don't want it too hot. I find these chillies are, I'm just trying to think who's eating it, whether I should make it hot or not. Undecided. If you're not a huge chilli fan, and I'm just slicing these in half, which of course you can't see, but I'll show you in a sec. I'm using my little serrated knife for this because these are little slippery things. So that's my chillies, which I've sliced in half. What you could do is take the seeds out and just pop them in whole. They're cut like that, a whole piece, without the seeds, and just leave them in. It actually looks nice and adds a flavour, and in that case I would do that sooner rather than later. Or you can just slice them and add them in at the end. It's really up to you. And now that Claire's mentioned, I'm thinking of changing my mind, and I might actually just do this. I'm going to take the seeds out, and I'm going to remember to wash my hands when I'm finished, because then I'll go rub my eyes, and that'll be that. We've all done that. So take your seeds out of your chilli. I'm doing this terribly. And I'm going to actually put them in. You know what? I've just changed my mind. I'm going to put them in like that, okay? And I'm going to put them in now, okay? All right. So Cynthia, can you sub parsley for coriander? I wouldn't really want parsley in this at the end. It just, to me, doesn't really go. Coriander is just a beautiful herb for this. I'd rather leave it out. What would I put instead? Something green. You know, you've got the spinach, so you really don't need it. I think I would leave it out. Okay, is this boiling? This is just about boiling. It's starting to simmer. It's smiling, not laughing. Those of us who have been in this group for a while know exactly what I mean. Okay, as soon as it starts to boil, just watching it carefully. Okay, it's boiling. The lid goes on, and I turn it down to low, and I'm not going to touch it now for 15 minutes, okay? I'm going to switch these again now so we can go back and see this. Okay, so you got that with the rice. I'm not going to open the lid. I'm not going to have a look, and I'm going to put my timer on for, sometimes it cooks in 10 minutes actually. I'm going to put my timer on. I'm not actually going to, 12:05. When the curry's ready, we're going to have a look at the rice, okay? But just let it sit. Let's go back to our curry. It's looking beautiful. Have a look. Okay, I've decided to put my chilies in without the seeds, and I'm going to leave them whole, as in they're half, but you know what I mean. I'm not slicing them up, okay? Because all the flavour will come out of them as they cook. the caramel cream, or caramel, that is really a lockdown brain, I'm sorry. The coconut cream or milk or whatever you're using is going to reduce, which is what we want. We still want sauce, but we don't want it to be too saucy. Our aim of this part of the cooking is to cook the pumpkin, okay? So you need to check it from time to time. So Simone, your curry is very thick, then put the lid on while you cook it and you'll create some steam and some liquid, or add a bit of water. Okay, let's have a look at this piece of pumpkin. Let's see how it's cooked. Yeah, it's actually going to be cooked in about 5 minutes. So as mine is thickening up now as well, turn the heat down as well if it's too thick, okay? Yum, this looks delicious already. I'm going to turn it down. I'm going to put my lid on. I'm just going to give it a few minutes, just because you've got to judge whether you need to reduce the liquid more, in which case you need to leave the lid off and the pumpkin will continue to cook, or the liquid is at a good level but you need the pumpkin to cook, then you put the lid on. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to put my chili board away and wash my hands. Will you give me a minute while I do that? I don't want to have chili hands and then get in trouble. So give me a sec, chat amongst yourselves. I'll be 1 minute, all right? Just washing. Okay, that is done. I need a clean knife. All right, done. Okay, all right. My curry is on. My rice is on. I added the chickpeas. Yes, Naomi, I added the chickpeas before the coconut cream because I just wanted to coat them in all the spice mix first. Then I added the coconut cream. So I did onion, spices, put the pumpkin back in. No, onion, spices, put the chickpeas in, sauteed them, pumpkin back in, coconut cream, chillies, and now I'm going to wait till we add the spinach leaves and the lime juice. Now I'm just going to juice a lime while this is cooking. All right, let me just turn this back. Okie dokie. How are we going, anyone who's cooking along? Everything going well? If you're cooking, any problems, please let me know. I'm just going to cut this lime in half. How good are limes? Just the best. Mouth-watering, delicious, delicious. Okay, just going to do this. I actually bought myself the most amazing juicer. We juice so much in this house. I don't know about you guys, but we juice every day, whether it's a million lemons or grapefruit juice for Danny or whatever it is. And I bought a Breville. I bought one of these, not a Breville one. I bought like one of those, you know, electric ones, you know, plugs in, and they just kept breaking, and they lose their power after a while. So I went all out and I bought this expensive one. It was quite expensive. That's got a press and it's electric. So it's like one of those machines that people do the orange juice with, but it's an electric version of it. And it's actually unbelievable. And at the moment, I'm even making grapefruit juice for Danny every morning because I love using the machine so much. Not because I'm a good wife or want to make it for him. Don't tell him I said that. But I love using the machine. It's so fun to use and I absolutely love it. And I just can't believe I've gone all these years without it. So if you're a big juicing family, send me a DM. I can tell you what it is. We've got nothing to do with Breville. It's actually just a really good product. But it was expensive. But I just love using it. And in the morning I wake up and I think, do I need lemons today? So I juice, 6 lemons before I get to the grapefruit, and then I go straight onto the grapefruit without having to wash it. It's really good. So anyway, I was just thinking of that as I was, doing this lime by hand. You might need 2 limes for this. I know I said 1 lime in the recipe, but you just might need a little bit of the, a bit more lime juice than that. We'll see how we go. So I've got my spinach ready, my lime, my spinach leaves, my coriander, and my lime juice, okay? My chili I put in. Claire convinced me. I know you didn't say anything, Claire. You just asked a question. Claire convinced me to put my chili in earlier, which I did. See how this is going. See how much liquid. I think it was Naomi, was yours looking too dry? How is it now? Just have a look. So this is looking lovely. I can see, you can see that in the corner. Let's see how the pumpkin's cooked. Because we want it to be quite soft, okay? Not mushy, but soft. So I don't think it's quite there yet. It's nearly. Yeah, I want my knife to go through really easily. So I'm going to continue cooking it. And lid on or lid off, you decide. I think the amount of liquid in this is quite good. So I want the lid on because I don't want to lose any more liquid, okay? Yes, of course, it would be fine to use lemon juice instead of lime. It's just not the same. But yes, definitely use lemon if you don't have lime. It is a Breville juicer, and it's a big thing. I don't even know what it's called. But seriously, if you DM me, I'll send you the, send me a private message. I'll look it up, what it is. It's just so good. I can't believe it. Okay, 150 grams of baby spinach, or a bowl's worth. This is how much. Isn't it funny when you cook spinach? You know, you buy, in the days we used to have lots of people for Friday night dinner, you used to buy like 6 bunches of English spinach, and you spend an hour washing it in the sink and getting all the sand out, and then you take the tough stems off, and then you put it in a steamer, and it's like this much spinach, and then you cook it, and you get like this much spinach. I mean, really, it's actually the most frustrating vegetable. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you do. I'm sure you've all been there. Okay, how are we going? So, okay, so Amit, good question, or good statement I have an answer for. My pumpkin is hard and my curry is a bit dry. Put in a cup of water. Take your pan of coconut milk or cream, fill it with water, and put 3/4 of it in there. Turn it up, bring it to the boil, put it down to medium again, and let it simmer away till it'll cook the pumpkin and it'll thicken up, okay? Water is the solution to all of these things. Every time you make any sauce or any bolognese or tomato sauce or soup or curries and it gets dry, the only reason it's dry is because it's been cooked too long or too high and you've evaporated too much water. So you just add water. That's all. Easy, okay? Always. So don't ever tell anyone or worry that your things are too dry. It's just, it can be fixed in a second. All right. How are we going? Everyone doing well? You could, of course, Rob, you could add veggie stock, but the thing is that you didn't have veggie stock in it in the first place, and all you've lost is water. The flavour's still there. So you don't need to add more flavour, you just need to add more liquid. That's what I think. Okay, yes, good question, Lolly MB. Yes. If you're only eating the curry tomorrow, don't put the spinach in. It's up to you. You can put it in. Your spinach will be soft and soggy, but it doesn't matter. It's part of a curry. In an ideal world, add it in when you reheat it. And because you can even serve some of them. Oh, you know what, a better idea actually. I do think as I talk, which is not a good thing. I should think. I should listen to the question. I should think. I should stop. And then I should answer. But I don't. I just keep talking. Okay, let me just answer. I would reserve this much for you, Lolly. Put that aside. Cook that in the last minute, because we want to season and taste and all of that, and then let it cool, put in the fridge. Tomorrow when you reheat it, serve it with these on top when it's hot, and as you stir it to eat it or serve it, they'll start to wilt. So that will give you the best of both worlds. Yes, a kaffir lime leaf to the rice would be absolutely delicious. That's what I love about rice in Singapore, when you have that beautiful Singapore chicken. What's it called? I can't remember. I was there with my sister 2 years ago, and we ate it every single day. And we went to a cooking class and we learnt to make their rice, and they put, I think, coconut milk in the rice to cook it, and a pandan leaf, and it was just fantastic. Yes, I use curry leaves in recipes, but I don't know them well enough to know how to cook with them generally. So, you know, as I said yesterday and put my hand up, first one to say, curry's not my thing at all, but these curry recipes have become my thing, and I'm learning as I go along, just like we all are. Oh, this is smelling good. Okay, I'm taking my lid off again. Remember, Yeah, is it Hainan chicken? Yes, it might be. Oh, it's just so good. Yum. And we did go to that class and we learnt how to make it. And we steamed our rice and put it in a mould and tipped it upside down and it looked amazing. Okay, this looks good. I can just tell, I think, by looking at the pumpkin that it is, yeah, it's definitely ready. Okay, it's starting to fall apart in places. It's fully cooked. We're ready for the next step. Okay, we ready? I'm ready. Yum. Oh, smells so good. Okay, toss them in. Looks like a lot of spinach, hey? Yeah. I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep this for tonight when I serve this for dinner. Toss it through. In a second, they're going to be little specks of spinach, you know. You'll see green leaves, but it's not going to be the quantity. Okay, thank you for that. You can drop in fresh curry leaves when you're cooking the curry paste and the onion. So just saute them or fry them off with the spices. Thank you. I do love kaffir lime leaves, actually. I love those, really. Oh, that rice was really good. I remember it. Okay, so this is done. This is exactly how I would serve it, just like that, with the spinach leaves just about cooked. By the time you eat it, it's going to be ready. The pumpkin is, parts of it are mushing up, which are fine because it adds to the sauce. It sort of thickens it. Now I'm going to add my lime. And that lime was very, very meagre amount of juice because I didn't juice it in the machine. Okay. And I want to taste it because I need to know. Because when I serve to my family, you know, they have a taste and they go, it needs salt. Like I've done something wrong. And I say, salt is a personal thing. Don't blame me. But I do want to make it as perfect as I can before I serve it. Oh, it's good. That's really, really delicious. Okay. Helene, if your pumpkin is still hard, add some more water if you need to and put the lid on and just keep cooking it. Mine is absolutely done and perfect. Okay? I'm not saying mine is perfect in like a showy way, but I mean my pumpkin is perfectly cooked is what I meant. Needs a little bit of salt for me, just a little bit. And for this I'm using, you know, getting lots of emails from people about the Olsons. What do they use? This is the flaky salt, which I love for finishing a dish. Okay, I'm just going to put it on the top. I'm going to give it a shake. I'm going to add a bit more lime because to me it's just not enough. Okay. So a bit more lime, and I know I should put this in the microwave to get more juice out of it. Somebody did teach me that recently. And I'm going to pop coriander on the top. Okay? And that is my chickpea curry with pumpkin, spinach, it's really good. Who needs meat, right? When you've got that. That's a really, really nice curry. Now let's go back to our rice since I started it. I'm going to take this off the heat now, and that'll just sit out for the day. I don't even need to refrigerate it. It's got nothing in it that's going to go off. So that can stay. Dinner is done. And let's see our rice. It's probably only been, I can see through the lid, but it's not yet cooked. If I take my lid off, which I will to show you, I'm going to lose steam, which I don't want. I might have to add a bit more water. Yeah. So you can see it's not cooked. There's still water in the bottom of my pan, and I wouldn't expect it to be cooked because it hasn't been long enough yet. But I'm going to keep that steaming. And if I get to the end of, say, 20 minutes and the rice is not cooked and all the water's gone, I need to add more water. Or if I get to the end of 20 minutes and the water is still there, I just need to keep cooking it, okay? It'll be fluffy and light and there'll be no water left in the bottom. So that is it from me today. I think that we've covered everything that goes in this curry. I always look around in panic and think, have I left an ingredient on the bench? But you know what? I know you guys tell me if I've forgotten something. So I'm thankful that you're here to, you know, help me through this. All right, how's everyone going? anyone who's cooking, have you finished it? Have you tasted it? I'm going to have another taste. And the spinach leaves are delicious. I mean, that's just yum. That's really good. Sweet. Full of goodness. So colourful. Beautiful. What do you think? It's nice. Okay. All right. So that's it for today. This week we have done, if you've missed it, we did cucumber salad and steamed rice on Tuesday. We did the most beautiful chicken and potato curry yesterday. We've done our chickpea and spinach curry today. And tomorrow we are doing a really good gluten-free, dairy-free dessert for people who want gluten-free and dairy-free desserts. But as well as that, for those of us that eat gluten and dairy, it's just a quick, easy, fabulous dessert that can sit in the fridge for days and you'll just keep nibbling at it. I'm planning next week's cooking thing. We're going to do lots for Jewish New Year. Please remember to check Harris Farm Markets. These little babies will be on there soon and they're really delicious. I'm going to use all my self-control not to have another one, but it's hard. It's very hard. That's it. Please sign up also for the Russian honey cake class if you haven't already on Sunday the 5th of December. It's going to be good and you're going to come out of that with the most beautiful cake you've ever seen and eaten. I promise you. I think that's it. I have no other news at the moment except to tell you there are 2 aprons left in our store. So if you want an apron or an apron and a gift package, you better get online because they're going to go and I'm not sure that we're going to restock them at this point. Celia, I'm glad it's your favourite dessert in the world. I'd love to hear that. Do you serve it with whipped cream? I would. Hey Lance, thanks for joining us. And Ashy, if you're together. Thanks Dorothy, bye everybody. And Lauren, see you. Thank you all. I hope you have delicious food today. And I'll see you back here. Same time, same place, different top. See you then. Bye for now.